Call this meeting to order. It's Tuesday, October 4th, 2022, 7 p.m. City of Somerton regular council meeting. Will you please stand for a pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible. Roll call.
Anaya.
Present.
Vice Mayor Miguel Villalpando.
Present.
Vice Mayor Miguel Villalpando.
Present. I'm here. I don't know if you guys can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Present.
Councilmember Luis Galindo.
Present.
Councilmember Jesus Roldan. Councilmember Martha Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilmember Juan Castillo.
Present.
Councilmember Lorena Delgadillo.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on, call to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address council? There's no one. We have two proclamations. The first one is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas domestic violence is an issue that affects all Somerton residents, regardless of age, race, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, nationality, or sexual orientation, and whereas the costs of intimate partner rape, physical assault, stalking exceed 5.8 billion each year, nearly 4.1 billion of which is for direct medical and mental health care services, and whereas survivors of intimate partner violence lose a total of 8 million days of paid work each year, and whereas up to 50% of survivors of intimate partner violence who are employed are harassed at work by their abusive partners, and whereas more than 12 million women, men are victims of physical violence, rape, or stalking by an intimate partner in the United States every year, and whereas 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced contact sexual violence, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. And whereas domestic violence accounts for 21% of all violent crimes, and whereas 30% of children exposed to intimate partner violence had their first exposure before the age of 2, and an additional 26% had their first exposure between the ages of 2 and 7. And whereas witnessing violence in the home during childhood is an adverse childhood experience, which without proper support may lead to a greater risk of lasting negative effects on health and well-being. And whereas victims of domestic violence are more likely to experience short and long-term impacts such as post-traumatic stress disorder, injury, chronic illness, pain, poor physical health and mental health. And whereas promoting healthy, respectful, nonviolent relationships can help reduce the occurrence of intimate partner violence, support survivors, and lessen short and long-term harm on individuals, families, and communities. And whereas the City of Somerton, through the Somerton Municipal Court, Somerton Prosecutor's Office, and Somerton Police Department are committed to upholding victims' rights under the Victims' Bill of Rights, Article 2.1 Constitution of Arizona, to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity. Whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an opportunity to enhance education, prevention, and intervention efforts, services, and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim October 2022 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and call upon all residents of the City of Somerton to support domestic violence survivors and take a stand against all forms of violence and abuse in relationships by joining in the Lighting Yuma Purple campaign and taking part in expanding efforts to end domestic violence in our communities. I'm gonna invite the group to come and we can take a picture and give you the proclamation. Thank you. Thank you. We have a second proclamation. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, 2022. Whereas in 2022, the American Cancer Society estimates 39,970 women and men will be diagnosed with breast cancer in Arizona, and 13,200 will die from the disease. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is a worldwide annual campaign in October involving thousands of organizations to highlight the importance of breast cancer awareness, education, and research. And whereas according to the Centers of Disease and Prevention, breast cancer is the most common cancer among women. And whereas increasing the public's knowledge about importance of early detection of breast cancer diagnosis and treatment can save lives. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to unite all citizens in the city of Somerton and surrounding communities to prevent breast cancer deaths through increased education and regular screening. And whereas this October, as we raise, display pink ribbons, or wear pink clothes to raise awareness, we recognize breast cancer survivors, those currently battling the disease, and friends and families of diagnosed patients, and applaud the efforts of our medical professionals and researchers working to find a cure. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Naya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim October 2022 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Somerton, and urge all residents to learn about our help and help eliminate this devastating disease. Is anybody, any representative from medical field here or Over the years, the fire department has adopted potential areas we would just then we decide there's multiple fundraisers it's the president. Okay, we're gonna move on to consent agenda. Item number 1, approval of minutes for August 16th, 2022, City Council meeting. Check register for the month of August 2022. Approval of application for extension of premises patio permit to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control on behalf of 85350 Bar and Grill for an Erie Halloween party on October 28, 2022. And item number 4, approval of intergovernmental agreement between Yuma County and City of Yuma, City of San Luis, and City of Somerton, and the Town of Wellton for the possession of an access to 2022 digital imagery libraries and supporting EFS software produced by Pictometry and previously delivered to the county for the sum of $9,254.36. Does any member of council want to remove an item for discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
So motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Second by Councilwoman Delgadillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to open public hearing? A motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Second by Councilman Castillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we have one item as public hearing to establish or increase municipal fees relating to sanitation, solid waste rates.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a time set for a public hearing regarding possible sanitation and solid waste collection rates. This is the time for the public to make any comment. Would you like me to briefly explain a little history of this process?
Yes.
Okay. So usually from time to time, the city does evaluate its various fees for potential adjustments to help in offsetting some of our expenses. These are due to inflation, perhaps increases in material, labor, other agency costs, postage, fuel. And this is to continue to deliver an excellent and exceptional level of service across all city departments. So in 2021, the city hired Wilden Financial to provide a complete third-party analysis on the feasibility of our sanitation rates. The first presentation came before council in December 2021. If my recollection serves me well, there were some items there that were included in the study. For example, a sanitation truck and maybe some other expenses that I think you as a council decided to remove because they were previously budgeted in other areas. And so in May 2022, Wilden Financial again appeared here at the City Council chambers to present an updated sanitation rate study. We've had the presentation in here at the council chamber. State law requires that they be posted 60 days in our city website so that everybody in our community can take a look at those. They've been published for 60 days. Thereafter, we do have a public hearing to receive comment before the council makes any decisions. So this is a time set for comment. And we meet all the requirements under Arizona law, ARS 9-499.15. And again, this is a time set for any comment by the public, Mayor.
Any member for the public who have a comment or question?
Lastly, Mayor, I just want to remind that the rates were initially proposed to be increased in July 1st of this year. Because we hadn't published the study, we delayed it a little bit. Essentially, you can start the rates as soon as the public hearing is over. The proposal would be to have rates start January of 2023, and thereafter there's an increase in rates. For the sanitation rate, the proposal is to increase it to $19.05, which is a $1.41 overall increase from what the current rate is.
Any members from the public have a question or comment? Is there a motion to close public hearing? It's a motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo. Second by Councilman Galindo. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to old business. Item number 1, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2022-013.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jorge Lozano, City Attorney. This is a time set for the council to discuss and possibly adopt a resolution to provide increases in our sanitation rates. Again, these are the rates for collecting our garbage. Mayor and Council will recall that within the last 2 years, the mayor and council did buy a brand new sanitation truck that's currently doing its rounds here in the city. We were borrowing sanitation trucks from the city of San Luis. We're borrowing pretty much anything that we could for the last couple of years. This rate study contemplates, I believe, a couple more sanitation trucks as we're moving forward. And it also addresses increases in materials and increases in other soft costs that the city will incur. Up on the screen, you'll see the proposed rate change for January 2023. And my eyesight is not that good, but it looks like we currently have our rate at $16.33. If this resolution is approved tonight, the sanitation rate will be $17.64. That is $1.31 of an increase on your current sanitation amount. Thereafter, you'll see as we move forward, we'll have an increase, a slight increase for every year. January 2024, it'll go up to $1.41 more. January 2025, another $1.33. So you can see up on the screen that the rate increases gradually over the next until January 2031. Which is the next 10 years, Mayor and Council.
Any questions or comments from council?
I have a comment, Mayor. Just refresh my memory. I think according to the study, this increase would be required so that it could be self-sustaining, right?
That is correct. There not only would it be self-sustaining so that we wouldn't be attacking or raiding our general fund, but it also is self-sustaining in the event. I'm not sure if there were any personnel costs in there. I don't recall that, but at least there's a significant cost to obtain new replacement trucks as we move forward.
And if my memory serves me right, I believe that the 8% increase the first couple of years is because we were kind of like still on the negative, and that's why once it goes to the 3% in 2027, it drops down, right? If my memory serves me right.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, Council. I'll be honest, I don't have the finance expertise on that.
So, okay.
If I recall correctly, I think we were breaking just even.
Just even.
We weren't at a deficit on this one,
Right.
but then again, the recommendation was for an additional increase, but council removed because they were the current truck that we have, we're not gonna include it here. But moving forward, we are gonna include the new equipment that we buy.
Just have a comment. And I think I've mentioned it before. These increases affect our community quite a bit, especially our seniors. I had mentioned in the past about creating a program similar to what San Luis has, dependent on the age and income of our seniors. I had forwarded the form that San Luis uses to hopefully do something in Somerton similar to that. I know it's going to take work and staffing time to look into what seniors qualify or not. But if possible, I'd like to look into that more seriously now that these increases, at least for the next 5 years. Well, the rest isn't that big of a hit, but these first 3-4 years are going to take a big hit for our senior community.
Mayor and Council, you have already started a program where you can offset water and wastewater fees. That one's already budgeted. So if you look at your bill that you get, your monthly bill from the City of Somerton, it'll have water, sewer, which is the wastewater, and the sanitation garbage part. There's three charges there.
Open to everybody, though. I'm just talking specifically about our seniors.
Yeah. So for what I'm saying is we do have a program that addresses offsetting some of those charges depending on the qualifications that city has set. I think WACOG is currently monitoring that program. If there's more funding that the council would consider, then obviously that's up to the council for more offsets.
Mayor and Council, we could also look at the San Luis program and see if there's a possibility that with the new budget, we can implement that specifically for seniors.
I'll look for the email.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-013.
Motion by Councilman Castillo, second by Councilman Galindo. All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we're gonna go into executive session. We're gonna skip then come back and reconvene to our meeting and discuss the new business, item number 1. But we're gonna go to summer current events and then go into executive session.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, from the City Manager's Office. Last week, I attended the monthly YSIPTA meeting, of which Somerton representative is the chairman of the Board of Directors. It was a very informative meeting, and the next meeting is scheduled for October 24th. These meetings are being held at the Yuma County DDS building. Last Monday, I also attended the Community Center expansion follow-up meeting with the Design Review Committee. The committee has been actively attending these meetings and participating while staff is also part of the committee. Our role at this time is kind of a standby assistance to allow the committee members to voice their opinions and ideas for this project. We continue working with the high school team to finalize the pending building permit for the tennis courts on the south side of the property. We should be able to issue the permit in the next few days. And also we are working with HR on several personnel matters. With that, Armando. Leon, HR.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Currently, we're still actively recruiting for firefighter EMTs, part-time and full-time, police officers. We're continuing to recruit for those positions. Water, wastewater, actually water, we're okay. We still need some wastewater operators. So we're actively recruiting for those. Emergency dispatcher, Parks and Recreation Director, Fire Chief, City Manager, we're about to conclude that process. Public Works Director, Street Maintenance Worker, Police Records Clerk, Maintenance Worker 1, Code Enforcement Officer, and recently we've added a Finance Director position to that.
Armando, did you already close Parks Director?
Parks Director, we're reviewing the applicants right now, so yes.
It's
Actually,
closed.
I think there's I'm still getting some applications. For
Oh.
that, yeah.
Chief Juarez. Chief Hernandez. Fire Chief, are you next?
Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor and Council. Last week, we received a letter from the Tohono O'odham Nation where we received a grant for $32,302.86. And that money will be used for the equipment for the new fire engine that the Cocopa tribe purchased. We should be getting that fire truck. It's being built next May of 2023. They just purchased the fire truck by itself. And with this grant money, we're going to be able to buy the hoses, ladders, and all the other equipment that it's for the fire truck. A big thank you to all the people that worked on this grant. Like I said, this was prior by Chief DeAnda and Chief Carlos. So, and thank you for everybody. I think it was submitted through our grant staff. We had a candidate for a full-time position, and once we made the offer, he rejected the position. He went to a neighboring fire department for full-time status. So that still leaves us open with a full-time slot on the floor, and then we still have the administration open. We're in the process of hiring one part-time paramedic, and there were no issues to report, no major issues during the UTV event. That day we did have a lot of events through the fire department. We had the UTV event, we had the night farmers market, we had the speedway, and then we had another event at the Cocopa Tribe Community Center. And that's it. Thank you.
Economic Development.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. For economic development, we have 2 ribbon cuttings coming soon. We have one for Supergas Mini Mart Car Wash located at 611 East Main Street. We are looking forward to having that ribbon cutting next week. I will be sending the invitation sometime this week, hopefully tomorrow, as soon as the date is established. Mojave Cannabis will also have a ribbon cutting soon. They are will be located at 3345 East County, 15th Street. And we currently have an interested investor for one of the parcels at Parkview Commerce Center. He is very interested at the parcel number 3. Last Thursday, we did attend the Del Sol Distribution Center blessing ceremony, and we will be presenting today the option for sale of the parcel across the street.
Parks and Recreation Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Recreation, the City of Somerton and Powerhouse Boxing is hosting a James E. Curley Boxing Classic this Saturday. It's going to be held in our community center. The weigh-ins are going to start at 8 a.m. and the boxing action will start at 10. We're looking to have about around 15 bouts. And we are inviting everybody to join us. The Halloween Scary Yard Contest registrations ends October 25th, and we're going to judge on the 26th. Soccer's ongoing season is scheduled to complete October 27th. The parks, The Arizona Parks and Trails grant application was submitted on Friday. We're on time and we got that in. So it'll probably be November before we hear anything. I believe there's a board meeting in October, and then they'll award the grant in November. Staff is starting to oversee. We're going to start scupping down the city hall the next couple of days, so you'll see it browned out, and we'll get the seed down, get that up for the winter grass. Council Park irrigation pump. We're still waiting for the parts to come in, but we're on track to get that going hopefully in the next couple of weeks and get that back in operation again. Special events, we're gearing up for the Light Parade and Tamale Fest. Staff is meeting with the traffic control vendors on Friday and to get some quotes for that. And also we're working on the tree lighting, which is coming up, and we're going to start having staff string all our lights out, make sure they work in good condition, and we're going to start that process. The senior centers continue to operate as normal. We're getting between 40 and 45 clients each day. And we also, through a grant, received some exercise equipment and finally arrived after 8 months. And they're pretty sophisticated, so to speak. They're a little different than what we had. So we're going to train staff before we let the clients on it. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. Chief Juarez, Police Department.
Mayor and Council, good evening. I want to start off by thanking our Parks and Rec Department. I know I myself walk around town sometimes and I see lights that are out throughout town at our parks. And I have reached out to Ronnie and his staff, and they've done such a great job of making sure that our parks are lit, that brings crime down, because we have less of crime happening in our parks. It's one of the places that we want to make sure our children and our families are safe at. So thank you, Ronnie, for taking care of that. Also, our calls for service are up to 9,053 up to this year, up to date. That doesn't include the calls that come in for the fire department, which is probably as high as that. These are the calls that our dispatchers are handling on a daily basis. Our countywide 911 system will be updated and going live this Thursday. So it'll be early in the morning hours between probably 8 and 10 a.m. So we're hoping that there won't be any interruptions. And if for whatever reason we happen to have interruptions, we'll make notice to the public of that. We continue to work on updating our policy and procedures. We've been spending a lot of hours, the captain, the lieutenant, and myself, and making sure that our policies are updated, and they'll be coming again to our legal for review. We have one cadet that started the academy this Monday. The academy is taking place. Whoever is interested in going, stopping by and seeing what the cadets are doing. They're at the AWC Police Academy, which is taking place at the Yuma Civic Center Clubhouse. We have one cadet that is joined on Monday, so he seems to be doing good. There's about the number that I saw, maybe 20 cadets overall from different agencies. And the last thing, I just want to remind everybody of what Gabby reminding you from the DV Task Force will be at the park this Friday. Beginning, I believe, is at 6. I don't know if anybody has a time. I think it's 6. Thursday. So we're inviting everybody, the public. You'll also see, I don't know if you got to look at the officers that were standing in the back with me. Our patches are purple this month, and they'll continue to be purple this month to remind the public about domestic violence. It's going to be very hard to stop. I don't think it will ever stop. I know Gabby and the ladies said we want to stop it. It's something that's continuous. It's something that we need to continue to educate the community. It's just everywhere. Our top and most call that we respond to every day, every month, every year is domestic violence. So we hope to bring awareness and remind the victims that we respond to here in Somerton and in Yuma, the outer skirts of Somerton, is that we are their voice. We're here to help them. Thank you.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council from Finance Director. She's working on a list of reports for the city manager, coordinating with staff for finance transition, scheduling meetings with department heads, interims to review budgets, and finalizing closing schedule with accountants and auditors. That's all from staff.
Vice Mayor,
The only thing I want to say, Mayor, is that I just want to thank all of staff from Parks and Rec, from Economic Development, Police Department, Fire, all staff involved. Thank them for their participation in the UTV. Without their participation, it would be difficult for the city to put this event together. So thank you.
UTV Festival. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
As Vice Mayor said, thank you to all staff involved, mainly Brisa for taking the lead for the UTV block. Besides the weather, I think it went very well. And I think keeping it local bands, everybody enjoyed themselves. And looking forward to next year, maybe mid-October instead.
Where's Cabrera? I told you so. I told you so. Councilwoman Castillo.
I have nothing, Mayor.
Councilwoman Delgadillo.
I also attended the UTV event. I worked it all day and all night, and I want to thank Brisa, the events coordinator, and those departments that assisted her in this event. You know, it was, as Councilwoman Gonzalez said, yes, the weather was awful, and thanks to the zip that we had to go in there and kind of cool down for a little bit because it was just too hot. We needed to sit in front of a fan. I also requested some information on the paramedic agreements from legal. I haven't received them yet, so if you could get them to me as soon as you can. Also, I attended the blessings of the Del Sol Distribution Center, which was a great thing coming to our city. It's huge. It looks like an Amazon warehouse. And so I thank Del Sol and their owners for looking into Somerton and bringing that economic development to our community. Thank you. That's all.
And again, I want to thank the staff for the UTV Festival, also the committee. Having a committee, that's what makes the events, because they have people, they have a network, and it helps out. So thanks to staff and the committee. As part of Forefronted, this Friday we went to San Luis, Mexico for a culinary tour with all the mayors and from Yuma County and San Luis. So that was it was really good, really good food, good time. I went to the YMPO meeting. The main discussion was the railroad options, the study that they have. If it ever happens, who knows? But there were several routes that they were exploring, and it's going to go back to the TAC committee. Then it's going to go back to the executive committee. So it's still in the works, and I'll be representing the city of Somerton at the Tacos and Tunes this Saturday in Yuma, so as a judge, taco judge. So we're gonna take. Okay. No, sorry.
No, I don't have anything.
They have long arms.
No, thank you. I don't have anything. I'm just sitting quiet here in my corner.
Okay, is there a motion to go into executive session? It's a motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo, second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break and then go to executive session.
Aquí estoy muy callado en mi esquina. ¿Eh? Nada. Cansado.
No, oh, thank goodness. Okay, we're good.
Gonna go back to our regular council meeting. We have one item, a new business, item number one, discussion and possible action to select a proposal by Tony Riggs of Riggs Land Holding LLC for southwest corner of State and Main Street and pursuant to request for proposal number 2018-001.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Andrea, can you put the on the screen, please? 1 second. The City of Somerton continues with its efforts for downtown redevelopment. Since March 2018, there has been an open and continuous RFP for the sale of the southwest corner of State Avenue and Main Street with address 203 West Main Street, Somerton, Arizona 85350. It is the city's intention for the developer buyer to add value to this property located at the central retail core of downtown Somerton. Based on the city's redevelopment plan, this property may be ideal for restaurant and retail related opportunity. The land size, 7,500 square feet. The subject size is rectangular with approximately 50 feet of frontage on Main Street and 149 long on State Avenue. The purchase price is of $70,000. Riggs Land Holdings LLC is interested in purchasing the property for the purposes of developing a multi-use building with retail units on the first floor and residential on the second floor. This would provide 66 apartments and 3 retail spaces. One of the retail units will be for esports business, providing entertainment and access to gaming for students and youth in the area. Mr. Tony Riggs is a family man, Marine veteran, and entrepreneur. He has been traveling to Somerton since 1990, 32 years, when he was stationed at MCAS Yuma, and he currently has several family members that live here in Somerton. He has been married to his wife, Maria, for over 30 years, and they both want to continue growing their family and the communities they live in. Mr. Riggs has been in business for over 20 years in Phoenix with employees in Arizona and Texas. He understands what it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur and is taking the same approach for developing real estate for both businesses and residential here in Somerton. Staff recommends the acceptance of Tony Riggs' proposal for 203 West Main Street and close the RFP for this property.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Move, Mayor.
It's a motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo.
Second.
Second by Councilman Galindo. Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. It's 8:36. Meeting's adjourned.